Welcome to head coach Jeremy Pruitt's Monday press conference. Coach will start us off with a quick opening statement. Please raise your hand for questions.
You know, looking back and reviewing this last game, just starting with, offensively, way too many negative plays, too much pressure on the quarterback, got him off the spot, a lot of, not as much schematically, but just really kind of getting whipped and getting pushed back into the quarterback. Too many negative plays in a run game. So we got to eliminate those plays, okay, the negative plays. Lots of positives too, a lot of 4 and 6 yard runs. Popped a few out there, but just too many 3rd and 7s, 8s. Got to put back-to-back plays together, and we didn't do a good job doing that. Turned the ball over in the red area right before the half, made really 2 ill-advised throws during the game. Got to do a better job all over the field offensively, starting at offensive line, quarterback, running back, tight end, and wide receiver in blocking in the run game. Defensively, got 4 turnovers, should have had another one there, but kind of changed the game. Gave the offense short fields. Didn't do a whole lot with it at times, but we got field goals, and for every turnover was really points there. Special teams continue to do a pretty good job there, and we've got to improve there every week. We'll spend a lot of time on that today, but came out of the game pretty healthy. Looking at Kentucky. A team that has kind of changed its identity a little bit, obviously with the injury at quarterback. Had to kind of revamp a little bit what they were doing offensively, and Eddie Grant's done a really, really nice job in the changes that he's made there. So finding a ways to win with Bowden playing quarterback, so doing a nice job. I followed Mark at Florida State, and he really does a nice job recruiting guys, evaluating talent, the intangibles of how they play, the season they had last year, what he's done to that program at Kentucky, the identity that they kind of play with. They're physical, they're tough, they play together. Very opportunistic. You look at their defense, one of the best defenses in our league. And then they do a great job in special teams. Their punter punts the ball all over the place. On their kickoff cover, they do a really nice job placing the ball, and they've got good skill players to return it. So, we've got to continue to improve this week. We need to make tons of strides in all 3 phases to give us an opportunity to have success Saturday night. It'll be a hostile environment, so we're looking forward to the challenge. But Kentucky has a team that is really talented, playing really well right now, and we'll have to be at our best to have a shot Saturday.
Steve, Blake, David.
Just wondering, what was it about this team that kind of enabled you to turn things around? What was the move of the team like at 1-4, and how were you able to kind of move forward rather than dwell on what's going wrong with that?
Well, you have to figure out why we're 1-4, right? It's pretty simple. We turned the football over. We didn't get enough turnovers. We didn't play clean. We had some guys that were injured early in the year or didn't play, and we were young. So it's a recipe for not really a whole lot of good. So our kids have come, and our coaching staff have done a really good job to get them to come to practice, buy in, compete hard. We've got good leadership on our team. Our guys have never flinched. They just kind of keep working. They believe in what we're doing here. It's amazing when you believe in something, you kind of stay the course. Our kids believe. They believe in what we're doing. They believe in our strength and conditioning, our nutrition, the people that are coaching them, player development. So we've kind of stuck together and just keep grinding it out.
Blake and David.
defense, what are the challenges when you're facing a team that's using a wide receiver at quarterback?
Well, they've had an off week this week, and if you look, he's really in the last 3 games is when he started playing the most. You see their offense grow in that period of time of things that they're doing. They really do some nice stuff in the run game, with the read stuff, and whether it's read Q, power O, tag mag, and they've always been kind of a blue running or excuse me, 11 personnel running the football, but really do a nice job. So you kind of don't know exactly what you're going to get, a little bit there. So, and he has talent to throw the ball. It's not like he's a guy that can't throw the ball. He can throw the football. So, but they've really kind of shortened the game and how they've played. They've been very efficient with their drives. And probably the last 2 games that they've played in, it looks like it's been a monsoon on tape. So they played in very poor weather. So, you don't know exactly what you're going to get from throwing the football there.
David, Vince, Rob, Jesse.
Along the same lines, what are some of the principles that you sort of emphasize on when you face an attack like that, or that run as often as offense?
What are some of the what?
The principles that you sort of drill in as part of the game plan when you're talking to
Well, we need to win the line of scrimmage. This will be a line of scrimmage game. We need to keep edges on the defense. When the ball's out in space, we need to be able to tackle one-on-one. We cannot give up one-on-one, to a blocker defensively. You gotta make 2 guys block you. We can't let the ball be thrown over our head. So eliminate explosive plays. Got to find a way to get some turnovers. It really doesn't change every week. It's kind of the same thing. Maybe what the other team does changes, but our philosophy is never going to change on how we want to play defense.
Vince, Rob, Jesse.
2 things. Paxton Brooks has been handling the punting. Is that just earned opportunity, or has Dole been banked up? And then the second thing is, have you been a part of a team where a wide receiver was the leader and the impactful guy that Juwan Jennings is? Because that seems to be unusual for that position.
Well, Paxton's done a good job in practice to earn these opportunities. It could change this week, so we'll see. We're going to play the guys who give us the best opportunity to have success. Fortunately for us, we have 2 pretty good punters. And there's lots of competition there. So, and it will make them better as they continue to grow and develop as football players. And you're talking about Juwan. We have lots of good leaders on our team. Juwan's a passionate guy that he's probably the oldest guy on our team. So he's kind of been through the wars a little bit. He's probably developed some wisdom about how to handle your daily business, how to do lots of things right. The older we get, we learn from our mistakes, we learn from others' mistakes, and we try to pass it on to the people that we care about. Juwan cares about his teammates, and he's a guy that really wants to finish this season the right way.
Coach, just going back to August, when he first got there, how much progress did you see Travis make as he got activated to play a football game with your team?
Well, he practiced twice in August. This is the 9th game, so that's 11 practices. If you think about fall camp, how many practices you have in that 3-week period, he would really be, getting ready for the first game based off a number of times that he's practiced. So says a lot about him, about number 1, about his ability, 2, about his willingness to do other things to help him get prepared to play in a game so he can play at a high level, and he continues to improve every game.
Jesse.
I guess just got what's the latest on the quarterback situation? Is Ryan going to full go in practice this week? And if he is healthy, is he the guy that you said he didn't get as many reps last week on
Yeah, he was full go last week. He was full go last week. So, again, we'll look and see where we're at and who gives us the best opportunity to have success, and we'll play those guys. Might be one of them, might be two of them, might be three of them. So,
I guess in the second question, with the defense turnaround you guys have made the last month, the last 4 games, is it as simple as getting Petulli and Bryce Thompson and some of those guys back that didn't have the beginning of the season and just a natural growth from the rest of the guys? Or did you really see a turnaround at some point in the last 4 games where the guys, the whole unit really started to click?
well, for the first 2 or 3 games, 4 of our best football players on defense didn't play. We're not at a point in time in a program to where we can just plug a guy in and say, okay, there's no drop-off. You're talking about Emmett Gooden, you're talking about Balin Buchanan, Bryce and Daniel. It's a big blow, so you have to start kind of moving guys around. So yeah, that hurt us tremendously. Getting 2 of those guys back has helped. The fact that the guys that kind of got plugged in and played, we knew we were going to be young defensively and inexperienced. So the guys are going to continue to improve over the course of the year, and they've done that, so it's not surprising that we have improved, especially with those guys coming back. Against Mississippi State, we lose Trayvon Flowers for the year. It's a big deal. It's one of our best defensive backs. So, and he was a guy during fall camp who was injured, so he plays the first couple of games. He's not healthy, or not at 100%. He's healthy, just not at 100%. So, unfortunately, we had an injury bug in fall camp and lost a few guys, but we're kind of getting some guys back, and guys have gained experience over the course of the season, and we are playing somewhat better.
Weston Austin.
As you broke down some of that offensive line stuff from the game on Saturday, from the outside looking in, it looked like that group had started to play much better football throughout the year. Was that just a bad night, or were there a couple of injuries that got in the way? Was you maybe pretty good up front? What led to some of those struggles up front for y'all?
Yeah, I think UAB is pretty good up front to start with. I think they've done a really nice job. When you're going to run the football, it takes 5 offensive linemen. If you got 2 tight ends in a game, those 2 guys are runner, and it takes a quarterback to glue it all together. So when people move, there's moving parts on the defensive side. There's one guy that's standing over the deal that can see all of it, and you got to make sure that you got the right spots or the right point, so everybody knows we're working in the right direction. We had a couple of mistakes, not a couple. We had too many mistakes from that standpoint. We probably got whipped a couple of times, and maybe we didn't use the proper technique, or we might have ran the ball the wrong way, as far as from a quarterback, making sure we're running the ball to the correct side. That's all important, right? So, and that a lot of that goes into who our quarterback is, each week, So, as an offensive play caller, you just don't want to go out there and say, hey, I want to line up in dot and run zone to the right. Well, what if they, we got a center, a guard, a tackle, and a tight end, so that's 4, right? What if they put 6 dudes over there? We still going to run zone to the right? Probably you're not going to get a whole lot of success there. So you got to be able to package runs and be able to change them and things like that. So we missed some of those other night, which didn't help.
Austin.
Sean Shamberger's a guy that's gotten better and better over the course of the season. What's he doing specifically well? And is it just a matter of just becoming more mature and getting more experience, or is there something that maybe clicked for him?
Well, I guess he's been here, now the second year in the system. I didn't feel like he played very good other night. He keeps playing. We don't have a whole lot of numbers back there to play, but he's a guy that has improved as the season has went. and he has really good athletic ability and has some instincts as a player. Needs to be more consistent as a blitzer and more consistent in coverage. But he's a guy, but based off the fact that he's been in the system for 2 years now, he's going to improve. So the way we practice, you're going to develop as a football player. As long as that's why when you get guys that have a little bit of age, they might not have played a whole lot as a freshman or a sophomore, but if they stay in our system, the way we practice, the way we develop players, they're going to continue to improve and get better, which is, football is a developmental game. You want to be coached. You want to see improvement, and Sean's a guy that has continued to do that. Now we're looking at the consistency, right? He's played really well early in the year. Just the other night, he just didn't play as good. I probably shouldn't have said that, but it's the truth. But we're looking for more consistency there, and he has the ability to be a good player.
David and Steve.
Jeremy, how do you study late game decision making? What does that look like on game day, that process?
What do you mean late game decision
Managing
making?
the clock.
Well, I don't manage the clock. You talking about
That's what I like making decisions.
timeouts,
Yeah, like
punting?
when to use timeouts, how does that work on game day, and how do you study that?
I got you. No, so game management. Well, there's, I guess probably because as long as football has been going on, there's lots of things that are kind of pretty well documented, right? Kind of when to go for two, or kind of a philosophy of going for two. There's lots of things, scenarios that you have to work consistently when you have the ball offensively, based off the score. Are you trying to score touchdowns? Are you trying to run the clock out? Do you need a field goal? Is it before halftime? So there's lots of things that go into that. So you try to go through all the scenarios during the off season. Starting in probably February when we're doing quality control, and make sure that we all have the same philosophy about what we need to do to get us prepped during spring to make sure we're able to hit all these things. Sometimes you have to go off your gut too, right? So you see the game, you're on the field, you feel what's going on. I was watching somebody play the other day, just as I was walking through. A team was moving the football, and somebody burned a timeout just to stop them. That's kind of one of those things in high school. When I was a high school coach, if a team's moving the ball, hey, you might need to call a timeout to get them settled down or make a correction or something that, so you can keep them out of the end zone, right? I mean, nowadays everybody talks about keeping your timeouts to the end of the half, right? So, sometimes you just got to go off your gut. So, but there is a lot of things that are documented that you kind of study and look at.
Steve, and then Brent and Eric.
Just when you're trying to build a program, what's the biggest advantage you get from making a bowl, or biggest disadvantage from not making a bowl? Is it the extra practices, the recruiting benefit, just the momentum for the program, the confidence in the room, or what?
Listen, we're not focused on making a bowl. What we're focused on is being the best football team we can be today, continue to develop as a team, get ready for Kentucky. That's all. That's what we're worried about. I know where you're going with that, but that's what we're focused on. I don't have time to worry about that other. I think it's kind of common sense, Practice, get 15 extra practices. It's got to help you, right?
Brent.
Coach, in your opening defensive possession the last 5 games, I think you forced a punt. The first part of the year, the teams were scoring on you guys to start the second half. Is that coincidence? Is that your defense understanding adjustments better at the half? What do you make of your defense's ability to start the second half better than they did the first part of the year?
I don't know. It's a good question, something that we need to continue to look at and see. We've really not changed how we prepare at halftime. The same. We've been taking the same procedure that we always do at halftime and continue to do it throughout the year. It would probably make sense that maybe our kids, because of youth, have kind of learned to apply it a little bit. All the information that they're given. So but we've really tried to focus on being a second half team. We weren't early in the year at all, but we've really tried to get our kids motivated to be that way. There's certain positions that we have lack of depth right now, whether it's based off injury or numbers or experience, and we've tried to be smart as a coaching staff to be able to address that as a game goes.
Last few, Eric, Blake, Wes.
With the team playing better really the last month, what are the effects that has had on recruiting? Do you feel like you've gained some momentum in the last couple of weeks, talking to some prospects?
You know, I don't know how much we played better Saturday than we played back at the beginning of the year. You know, if you turn the ball over 3 and 4 times a game, you're not going to beat anybody, which is what we did early in the year. If you give up 65-yard passes with 20 seconds on the clock, you're not going to beat anybody. You know, we at times we've continued to improve this year, and we're going to work hard to do that. We got to finish, right? That's the goal, to improve every game. So we have a huge challenge this week. Our kids know that. You know, we're excited for the opportunity. We have yet to win a game on the road, you know, which is a mark of a good football team, is being able to go on the road and win football games, and we have yet to do that. So we have a whole lot to prove. As coaches, as players, everybody associated in our program, you know, so and we'll have an opportunity to do it Saturday night.
Last two, Wes, Blake.
I know that when y'all were sitting there around 1 and 4, you made some comments to the effect of, you know, we want to look at everything we're doing here, everything the players are doing, everything we're doing as coaches, and kind of evaluate what's working and what's not. When y'all looked at what you were doing as coaches, was there anything drastic that you were doing, that you changed about what y'all were doing, or did you just kind of stay the course and hope the team would improve and eventually?
Well, it's about being efficient, you know, playing cleaner. You know, we've talked about it on both sides of the ball. It's the details, you know. So you look at each week, the team that usually wins the turnover battle usually wins the game. You know, start with that. Let's just take care of the football. You know, let's get some turnovers on defense. So it's no magic pill, no. It's about details, execution. You know, doing the little things, and you know, our kids have continued to work at it, and you know, we were younger, a young team, and the guys have kind of developed, and hey, let me tell you, we got a long ways to go. Okay, we have not come close to playing our best football yet. So, and we're running out of time. So we've got to be able to do that.
Blake, final question.
Jeremy, it's been a few weeks now, you've been using Jarrett in that 6-man type role. I guess, how did you come to the decision to do that, and how do you manage that while also allowing the offense to find room?
Well, you know, he practiced last week with his hand, you know, after surgery, and done it on Wednesday and Thursday, and there wasn't much issue, but when it was cooler Saturday night, so you're a little bit, how's he going to handle it during warm-ups and some of that, you know. So I felt like JT played good enough in the South Carolina game, and he finished the game to start the game. I knew at some point we would, you know, give Jared an opportunity. He didn't take as many snaps during the week as he normally does, but he's a guy that can kind of help glue a lot of things together with, you know, with the other players. And when he does that, we play better, you know. It just comes from having more experience than the other guys, you know. So, but I think it's easy for him. He has the maturity to kind of see and learn from what's going on during the game. and apply it. So that's one of the reasons we've done it.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.